for Kevin Keegan's Newcastle United, playing against Manchester United. That was his debut. So it's free kick taken there by Bilic, Croatian star. The referee's put in some push-in. Simon Bilic, who seems to be sporting a bit of a black eye there. And he'll of course be with the Croatian side that will play in England in Euro 96 championships.
That was a terrible clearance by Steve Potts. I mean, he had all the time in the world, Mike.
And the overlap. And cut out that time. Newcastle do like to use the flanks. It was John Beresford.
Bilic is the man who's going to get the foot to it inside, but it was all caused by Potts.
And the corner taken short. Ginola throwing this at the far post. And it was Philippe Albert who tried the bicycle kick. Scored a couple, of course, against Manchester City and went very close to scoring against Manchester United.
Ginola is a great supplier of the ball across, and you're going to see that Albert is going to be the last man over there. He tries the bicycle kick, but you can see the ball very wet, slides off the side of his foot. And who can ever forget that one tantalising goal? It looked like the keeper was going to get to it, and Albert just got the boot, put it in. I mean, he scored some key goals, Mike.
He certainly has, as Newcastle putting on all the early pressure. But that time was stopped now. Beardsley. Ginola throwing that one in. West Ham having to defend at the moment desperately.
Well, I didn't think there would be any nerves, but I think that Potts is a little bit nervous, Mike. The number 4 player in there has made a few key errors already.
Beresford. Ginola. That header comes in, and it wasn't too far wide in the end. It was Robert Lee.
Well, you're going to see a couple of nice moves here. Ginola loves to make those moves, and then he just chips it across into the middle. Lee gets up to it first on front of a couple of West Ham defenders, and that was much closer than the goalkeeper made it look, believe me.
Robert Lee, who's been suffering from a groin injury, played against Manchester United. He was the one selection poser for Kevin Keegan for tonight's match. Dowie, who is a player who's at the veteran stage of his career. He's travelled around a lot of clubs, but always manages to score goals. As Newcastle come forward again.
Well, he never get an easier one than he got last week.
Well, he certainly wouldn't, but it was a lot down to Tony Cottee, but Harry Walsh, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, made a real mess of it. Now Beardsley phoning this one in. And the header wide from Les Ferdinand.
Oh, Les Seeley must figure he done something on these guys, because there's nobody covering for him at all, Mike. And you can see Seeley, he just wants to get a touch on it. You know that he wants to make a save. Here's the ball coming across. Watch, it's going to be chipped back into the middle. The opportunity is there. Look at the amount of ground is there. Only for the ball takes a bad hop. Then it's chipped across. Ferdinand rises high for it. Can't get it on target.
Les Ferdinand, his best goal scoring season was last season with Queen's Park Rangers with 26.
He needs one more this year to equal that, right?
Yes, he seems to have been waiting though for an eternity to get that goal number 26. He hasn't scored since the victory over Middlesbrough back on the 10th of February. And Barton on the far side. It's there by Rowland. Barton gets a cross in. Away there by Steve Potts. And Newcastle just that yard faster to the ball at the moment.
Well, West Ham's not in it, Mike.
Asprilla. Well crowded out that time. 6 minutes gone. Still no score. Beresford. And Ginola. Ginola faced there by Potts, plays that one in, a nice 1-2 as Ferdinand tried to turn. And there's Ferdinand, the player who's penalised. Julian Dix, the real character of this West Ham side.
Oh, he takes it away this time, and you see he's just going to be cut down, and you can see how cold it is here. You can see the breath starting to show in the air, and there was nothing malicious about it, but Julian Dix is not a guy that you want to get mad, because he just doesn't get he gets even in a big way.
His form has been so good in recent weeks. There is talk of him actually getting a call for the England side, as Dowie is penalised.
Oh, he's a man who loves to ride those big Harleys, the next biker, and he makes his presence felt. He's quite a cult leader with West Ham.
And Ginola. Quite measured with the crosses at the moment. Derrick's still on that far side. There's Batty. Now Beardsley. Albert trying to tee it up with his left foot. Goes for handball.
Oh, it looks suspiciously like his appeals were right too. Oh, I mean, this West Ham defence, Mike, is unbelievable. They can't do anything right.
Well, certainly at the moment they're being put under pressure. Spree up. He's overhit that.
That's another handball.
Yes, it came off of Peter Beardsley. Referee's going to give the goal kick. Certainly there didn't seem to be any intent from Peter Beardsley. Here's this other incident, Tommy.
Just outside of the box, you can see the setup there. He's falling down. It comes off his arm. I think the ball played him. I don't think he intended to knock the ball down. Let's see. There he's coming down. No, he had no intention of knocking that ball down. That's quite a shiner he has there, isn't it?
Village. Of course, for Hajduk Split back in Croatia. Also had a spell at Karlsruhe in Germany. And that's Steve Howie. Spree up.
Well, if West Ham can hold out for 15 minutes, Mike, and just get their legs, it's going to be a long night for Newcastle. But if Newcastle could score here, it could be a long night for West Ham.
This is the same sort of type of start that they made against Manchester United. They dominated the first half. It was still 0-0 at half-time. Manchester United went on to win. And this is Bishop. Dispossessed. Barton celebrates his 27th birthday tomorrow.
I might be wrong, but I think West Ham would like to get out of here with 1 point, Mike. They're playing like that. Look at that. They've nobody up front at all. There's Ian Dowie's the furthest man up the field, and he's still in his own half.
Certainly that's not the type of tactics that Harry Redknapp likes to employ, but I think at the moment they really haven't got any choice, Tommy. That it's just Newcastle coming at them in waves.
It's constant pressure, I mean, since the kick-off.
Spree up. And Dowie.
Dowie's doing the right thing. Come back and settle him down. Another mistake.
Yes, but he's given the ball away as Asprilla plays that one through. And Ferdinand denied by Les Seeley. Well, Les Seeley came up with a big save then.
Oh, he sure did. He just stuck that hand out far enough to be fit to get enough of the ball to stop it going in. It was a terrible mistake by Dowie. Give the ball away. And that's a couple of very bad mistakes, but the keeper saved them.
Beardsley plays it in. The ball there just really kicks anywhere to get it away from the danger area. Albert now for Newcastle. Warren Parson on that far side. And the ball just unable to be kept in play. Well, let's see there rescuing West Ham. All came about when Dowie gave the ball away.
Oh, you can see just Ferdinand just tries to slip it over his shoulder. And look at that. Inside. He's just going to get his hand on it. Watch this. Ferdinand just tries to get... He doesn't get enough of it, but the keeper does.
It's a great save that from Les Seeley. Julian Dix.
But I'm sure if you were Kevin Keegan, you'd be saying that's a terrible miss by Ferdinand. I mean, he just didn't get enough on the ball at all, Mike. But that will build this man's confidence up. I mean, that could be the key for him now, once he got into the game like that.
And too far ahead that time for Keith Rowland. So a throw for Newcastle United. Only one loss here in the league. So they were beaten here by Chelsea in the FA Cup.
Mind you, when I said West Ham had 5 foreign players on, I wasn't counting Roland. That means they have 6 on because he's a Northern Ireland international.
Barton. That's the changing face of English football. Scrilia. That time cut out by Bishop.
Well, Bishop's the only man who's playing up to his potential down there. He's cut out a couple of nice opportunities, and once again Ferdinand is the man who's guilty of the foul.
Harry Redknapp, of course, former player at West Ham. For a poor start of the season, a win here would see them up into 9th position. Stevens walk around Upton Park now, perhaps finishing high enough for a UEFA Cup place next season. Newcastle are more interested in a place in the Champions League next year. As Batty plays that one wide, here's Beardsley. Now Asprilla. But he was trying to lift it over the defender who had committed himself, and also over the goalkeeper who was off his line.
Oh, I don't know why the first man. Here's where the shot should have been taken. Look at how open he is. Just doesn't get the first touch on the bike. Comes across Asprilla, and then Billick is the man who gets the foot on it and pushes it over the top. First opportunity was the best one. That's good covering back by the West Ham defenders.
Billick there, the hero, as the ball comes loose. And now laid back by Ferdinand. Ginola trying to curl that one in. Great handling from Les Seeley, denies the French international David Ginola.
Well, you can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to curl it into the right-hand corner. Once again, good defensive work. West Ham settling down a bit. But look at this. Ginola tries to square it in. Oh, that's a beautiful save by Seeley. He's going to love to see that one tonight later on. Look at Ginola. Tries said, maybe I can get it in there. It's curling away all the time. Oh, that's safe handling.
Yes, David Ginola. 4 goals already this season. Looking there for number 5. Now here's Ilya Dumitrescu. This is Hughes. And that one across, and an easy catch there for Pavel Cernacek.
That's the first shot on goal that West Ham had, and it was a kind of an easy shot, but nevertheless, they're getting back into the game.
Giving the ball away that time. Now Ferdinand plays it wide. Barton. Peter Beardsley. Good running off the ball. Asprilla, but Julian Dix stuck close to him.
Oh, he's not going to have any easy touch with Julian Dix, believe me.
Asprilla, 1 goal already since his arrival from Parma in Italy.
When is his hearing? I mean, he could be out for a long time if they find him guilty of the charges. He'll miss a lot of games. He'd be a big loss.
Is that still some time away? Both Asprilla and Keith Curle of Manchester City have asked for personal hearings. Beardsley. Ferdinand there coming deep. All breaks though for Ginola. Puts that one in at the head of Dix. Not flown its way there by Steve Potts. Good play that time by Roland. This is Michael Hughes. Some rest at last for the defence as this one is played in. And West Ham have got a corner. Steve Howe was the player who had to come across.
Northern Ireland international Roland and Hughes combining nicely on that one, and it was eventually well, the conditions are going to play a big part in this one, Mike. You could see a mistake inside of the box which would win this one. I mean, it's really slippery out there.
Beresford is caught there by Dumitrescu. Dumitrescu, who will be in England during the summer for Euro 96 with the Romanian side.
Oh, he was the man that had so much problem getting the work permit when he came here from Spurs, but he eventually let him play.
He came on against Middlesbrough last week, and as the substitute replaced the injured Tony Cottee.
Mistake by Bishop.
There's his Ginola. First time. Always rising. You can see the agony on the face, Tommy.
Well, the longer it goes now for Newcastle, I mean, the more the pressure's going to build on them, Mike. This is not doing them any good at all. Ginola chests it down, brings it into the box, and he just bangs it. But I mean, everybody's looking at Newcastle, everybody's saying, are they starting to fade a little bit? And this is not going to do their confidence any good. I mean, they've practically lived in West Ham's half. Look at this one, he just can't get it on the target. And I mean, they've had a few good opportunities.
And this is what happened, as we said earlier, against Manchester United. They dominated the early period, but they couldn't score. That night they were denied by some brilliant goalkeeping from Peter Schmeichel. Now they come up against Les Sealey.
Oh, here's a good chance for them now.
One of the reasons that Les Sealey left Manchester United, of course, was the arrival of Peter Schmeichel anyway.
Well, it could be that both Schmeichel and maybe Sealey are the men who are going to give nightmares to Kevin Keegan when it's all over.
Well, Alex Ferguson gave that man Les Sealey a chance in the FA Cup final. He got a Cup final Cup winners medal. Also played in the final of the European Cup Winners' Cup. If he can keep Newcastle out tonight, Alex Ferguson, I think, will be eternally thankful to him. Free kick though for Newcastle. West Ham had everybody back. It's come off the wall. And now a corner.
Asprilla was the man who took the kick, and the wall did its job. They give up the corner, but at least it's better than giving up the goal.
Beardsley to take the corner. Rolling away the header. Sealey keeps it out. Ferdinand again is denied. Now Beardsley. And that time it's blocked by a defender.
Well, you got to say, Sealey's really having a night. Watch how quickly he reacts to this one. Ferdinand comes way over the top from deep.
Yes, it was a powerful header from Les Ferdinand. And now Batty. Beardsley. Now the ball played into space, the shot. Sealey again. This time using his legs.
Doing his best imitation of an ice hockey goalkeeper, Mike. Getting down and just, they'd call it a kick save. Watch this. That's exactly what he does. He kicks it out with that left foot.
Robert Lee was the player who had the shot. Mark Reaper has gone down. And he missed the game against Middlesbrough because of a stomach bug.
A big Danish international, he'd be a big loss in there.
Referee Stephen Lodge saying that Mark Reaper has got to go off to get some treatment, although he's now fully recovered. Well, we've seen this referee before, and some of his decisions leave a lot to be desired. West Ham now are down to 10 men because Reaper's got to walk round to the halfway line before he can come back on.
Reaper was some bargain for him. He only cost £1.1 million, and the way he plays in there in the centre of the defence, he got himself back quickly, Mike.
Yes, he certainly has. 20 minutes gone. Newcastle United 0, West Ham United 0. The English Premier League from St James's Park in Newcastle. And West Ham now just trying to slow this game down. It's been relentless pressure they've been under, Tommy.
Oh yeah, the defenders would love to get a break somewhere along the way. I mean, every time they turn around, the ball's right back into the box. They got to hold on to the ball a little, Mike. They're just banging it out of there.
Albert plays it forward. Ferdinand. Touch on there from Asprilla. Albert. It took a defender to break the deadlock. And Philippe Albert gets goal number 6 of the season. He started the move. He finished the move.
Well, it just seemed to be a question of when it was going to happen, because the defenders were allowing them too much time. Here's Albert. He pushes it in. Comes back onto it. A couple of touches on it. Ferdinand. Asprilla gets the touch. And there's the bulge in the old onion bag as Albert comes in and scores it. Look at that little flick on. Albert just bursts his way through. Sealey can't get there in time. Albert beats him in the foot race. Sealey's coming out. Here's Albert. And there's the ball. Good goal. Well worked. Couple of players with key touches in it. And it was a question of time of when Newcastle were going to score, Mike.
Philippe Albert's 6th goal of the season. Newcastle United 1, West Ham United 0. And Les Sealey eventually beaten, but it took a defender to get the ball past him.
Well, the Belgian international is such a strong runner off the ball.
Here come Newcastle again. Might just settle their nerves. And here's Julian Dix. I think more he likes than a battle, but he was obstructed there by Peter Beardsley. He looks across at the referee and the linesman. Well, Les Seeley there, that time was exposed. There's nothing he could do with that shot from Albert.
If the defender had to be fit to hold Albert up for a half a stride, Mike, Seeley would have gotten to the ball first. I mean, Seeley came off his line very quickly. We have an offside against West Ham, but if the defender had gotten in the way of Albert coming through, Seeley would have gotten the ball.
Good ball there by Mark Reaper. Here's the goal scorer, Albert. And Barton on that far side. Ferdinand laying that one off. Martin whips it in first time, but it's cut out by Ian Bishop. Now Dix. For Dowie. Oh, the tussle there with Steve Howie. He's off with the England international.
I'll tell you what it did do, the goal to settle West Ham down.
Won 5 of their 15 away matches. Australia is penalised.
Oh, he was involved in that goal. He had a lovely little touch on at the end of it, Mike. I think Kevin Keegan's asking the referee to open his eyes, is he?
Yes, well, Kevin Keegan. So he's not interested in the England job. He really rebuilt this Newcastle side, who were at the bottom of the second division when he took over. And they're really headed for oblivion. The times have changed.
They certainly have. What is a little over 4 years on the job. He's done a fantastic job here for them.
He's not afraid to spend money. He's back to his judgment, though. And he really has got a star-studded side here at St James's Park.
I think he spent, what, £44 million to go with his 4 years, so he's into these fours.
He said he wants to build Newcastle United like an AC Milan, where even if you get a few injuries and a few suspensions, you've got internationals to come into the side. That's certainly the case tonight. In fact, everybody on the bench for Newcastle tonight is an international, including Keith Gillespie, who a lot of people feel was very unfortunate to lose his spot when Asprilla joined.
I mean, isn't that some luxury that you can look down your bench and you see lads who have played for some country and you say, well, if things are going bad, I can take them on.
Now West Ham, this one laid off. While Hughes to the far post, too close to the goalkeeper. No worries there for Pavel Srnicek.
Well, Gary was the man who I thought should have taken the ball into the box, but then when he did make his run, Hughes couldn't find it. I mean, he played it much too close to the keeper. Should have swung it out on the 6-yard box.
Warren passing again on the overlap. Now Batty. Barton.
Batty's been a good acquisition for Newcastle United.
Also, Kevin Keegan refers to him as his lucky mascot. He won championship medals at Leeds United, championship medals at Blackburn. Kevin Keegan hopes he can make a hat-trick of it.
Yeah, that would be something. I mean, 3 different clubs, 3 different championships.
Albert's shot there is off target. If you're just joining us here on ESPN, this is the English Premier League coming to you from St James's Park in Newcastle, where the team who were the equal league leaders of the Premier League are in the lead by 1-0. Philip Albert scoring in the 21st minute. It's Newcastle United 1, West Ham United 0. Along with Tommy Smith, I'm Mike Hill. And West Ham really been under the hammer in the first 26 minutes of this game. You can thank the form of their goalkeeper, Les Seeley, only because of the injured McCloskey, for keeping them in the game and keeping the score at just 1-0. Asprilla. Tangling. It wasn't, it was David Batty.
Well, you know, we talked about how important this game is, Mike, and I know every game from now on is going to be important, but realistically, if you look at it from Newcastle's point of view, if they win today, they go 3 on top and they still have that game in hand, which could be big bonus for them. I know you have to win it.
Here's West Ham, the shot, the header, and he's saved there by Srnicek. this for Newcastle. They do have a very difficult programme. In fact, their next game is away to Arsenal at Highbury, and then they follow that up with a trip to Anfield to take on Liverpool.
Potts is the man who gets on the end of this one, and look at how close it came, but the keeper comes across, covers it nicely.
Steve Potts, who hasn't scored since October of 1990, a goal against Hull City.
Well, if you look at it, I mean, Newcastle have the toughest run in of all the teams involved in the championship race. I know you like Liverpool's chances.
As they got to face Newcastle at Anfield. Of course, they're still involved in the FA Cup, so that may just be a distraction for Liverpool. Newcastle haven't got that. Manchester United, of course, still in the FA Cup as well. As Ferdinand again can't quite get that goal that will tie his best season ever.
Well, he's a little bit frustrated here. You can see he gets a good opportunity here. The defender's a little bit late coming in on him, but he just heads it the way he's looking, Mike.
Seeley there, hurried into the clearance, put under pressure by Asprilla. Wasn't too impressed with his defenders that time, Tommy, if you can read.
He certainly wasn't. There's one thing about this man, he loves to talk. He's out there, he hasn't stopped since he arrived on the field today.
Robert Lee, 8 goals so far this season for Newcastle United. As the rain continues to fall at St James's Park.
I mean, Manchester United missed a glorious opportunity of putting the pressure really on Newcastle. I mean, had Newcastle come in here today 2 points down, Mike, it would be a different story. And I don't care what Kevin Teagan tells you. You think about it. You think about it. You look at the papers. You know how far you're behind. Nobody can tell me that you're not aware of these things going on.
Good turn that time from Asprilla. And trying to play a 1-2 there. And Robert Lee. Seeley this time with a better clearance. Harry and Dowie there. Lining and clashing. Here comes Steve Potts. Steve Potts, in fact, was born in the United States, Hartford in Connecticut. Although he did play for England at youth international level.
It took him a while to settle down today, but he's into the game now.
Good header there from Julian Dix, an important one as well.
Julian Dix has become such a force for West Ham. I mean, he's just all over the field. I mean, he just doesn't play as a defender. He's pushing forward. He's giving advice.
Potts again playing it forward. Beresford that time. Now Batty.
Beresford just cut her away from Dumitrescu.
Ginola playing that one through, and Asprilla had run into an offside position. So just over the half an hour played in the first half. Newcastle United 1, West Ham United 0. Philip Albert scoring in the 21st minute.
Oh, it was a beautiful run off the ball, which made it all possible for him. I mean, he just burst between a couple of defenders after starting the move, Mike.
Ferdinand losing out. Julian Dix that time making the error and recovering quickly. It appears he was the player who was putting him under pressure. Asprilla. West Ham defending well. They really are brave out there, Tommy. They're just throwing bodies in front of the ball.
Yeah, and they're starting to defend a little bit further out than they had. I mean, in the initial part of the game, the first 10-15 minutes, they were defending on the edge of the box. But they've started to move Newcastle back just a little bit.
Ginola there being held by Potts.
Oh, that could be a card. Should be a card.
It's a yellow card for Steve Potts.
Oh, this is an intentional hold. He gets a grip of the jersey first. Would have got away with that, but then he just grabs him around the hips and pulls him down. You're not going to get away with that one.
So that's the first yellow card. There with lovely skill. Confirmation of the booking for Steve Potts.
Oh, and he's better be careful.
Well, he's just got a yellow card, and I think
he's gone.
He's gone.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, Within 30 seconds of getting the yellow card, he now gets a red one. The challenge from behind. Steve Potts.
Oh, that's a bad call. He gets all ball and then he makes contact with the player. I think maybe the referee judged that was intentional, that last kick. But Potts definitely gets his boot to the ball before Ginola does.
Well, Harry Redknapp now knows that if it was always going to be difficult here at St James's Park, but now there is even more difficulty to the equation. And Stephen Lodge, the referee from Barnsley, who has been severely criticised this season. Most players and managers feel that he really isn't up to standard of the Premier League. But he brought out the card quickly then, and that seems to be one of his major problems this year. He does flash the card too quickly.
Well, what you have to hope for now, for Newcastle's sake, is that he doesn't try to even it up, because you could have a player put off for practically nothing. And I mean, I don't think that was a good card, Mike. I definitely think that Potts got his foot to the ball first.
Oh, certainly. I mean, the replay proves he played the ball. But West Ham, down a man, down a goal. And Newcastle United with a victory here. Put them back on top of the Premier League table. Steve Potts, of course, is the central defender for West Ham, so they're going to have to rearrange their line-up slightly.
Well, from the outset, Mike, it was obvious Potts was having a bad day. I mean, he made a few terrible blunders, and then when he came up the field and he just grabbed the hold of Ginola, that was a mistake, but to get sent off.
Lampard there, the assistant to Harry Redknapp. Esprilla already has had a great understanding with Ginola, as Esprilla is a judge to have been offside.
Well, that's a very close call at the best of times, and Esprilla doesn't really believe that he was offside. He's tempered his temper down a little bit. I thought he was going to have a go at somebody.
Yes, well, I think his teammates might have just warned him about this referee. There's certainly a lot of concern now on the West Ham bench, and that was Tim Breaker. I'm just wondering if Harry Redknapp might be considering bringing him on, as West Ham are broken down again, and this time Julian Dix to the rescue, just hacking that one away. West Ham's defence there was opened up.
Well, the keeper committed himself too, and the ball was just slid across into the middle. I mean, all it needed was a touch. The net was empty.
It was Steve Howie as well, the defender. Now Keith Rowland, who's dropped into that right back position. He's actually a left-footed player, so that's not perhaps the best of moves. Now Beardsley for Newcastle. Dix again to the rescue.
Without Dix back there, it could be big trouble for West Ham. It's bad enough trouble as it is.
It can be a little bit over elaborate with Newcastle United. Now Dix with the clearance. Dowie. It's Danny Williamson, who's found it very, very difficult to get into this game for West Ham United.
Yeah, his touches are not good for some reason. Well, there are games like that you just can't get in. You know that you're going to have trouble, and Danny's certainly having a problem getting in today, and he's got a few knocks as well, which is not going to help him. And Villick now has slipped out of the game, Mike. He had a very, very promising first 10-15 minutes, but he started to fade again.
It's hard for anybody from West Ham at the moment to really shine out there. Julian Dix is trying to lead by example. Who's causing all the problems. And really getting past Keith Rowland.
Well, as you said, it's strange to find Rowland there, but of course, the left-footed player, he's going to be slicing it away from the goal all the time. At least he's not going to be putting it back across in front of the goal. So I guess the manager decided to take a chance with him because he has good speed, and Ginola has been a handful out there.
Newcastle leading on the corner kick board by 6-1. Shows you the pressure that they put on West Ham in the first half. Now Barton plays it wide. Beardsley. Placed there by Bishop. Beardsley plays that one in. West Ham again were caught at the back now. Julian Dix turned the wrong way there, but he had 3 players around him. There's Robert Lee chasing back. Here he is again. Nice one-touch play from Newcastle. Ferdinand, Lee, Asprilla dances away from that challenge. Still Asprilla. And the shot there deflected away for another corner. Some of the football from Newcastle, absolutely brilliant, Tommy.
Yeah, Asprilla's putting on a show on his own here. Look at, he's going to come racing on down through the middle. Reaper is the man who's going to go to him and gets the touch on the ball, knocks it up over the top. Big Danish international, timed it perfectly.
Ginola. Caught there by Dimitrescu. With the free kick to the far post. Looking for Ferdinand now. Beardsley. Going wide. From Peter Beardsley. 8 goals so far this season.
Now Beardsley can smile because they're 1 up, but if they weren't 1 up, he wouldn't be smiling about that one, Mike. It was a good opportunity. Look, at nobody picks him up. When he chests it down, it just runs away from him a little bit too far. There's the header back out to him. Reaper is the man who gives it to him. Look at it run away too far, and then he just fires it wide.
Beardsley very much central to Terry Venables' plans for England in Euro 96. Such a great season, 31 years old, but he's never played better. And Barton on the far side. It's Beardsley again. Slide that one through, and it was well cut out. It came by Julian Dix. Gowie. The Northern Ireland international, 34 appearances for Northern Ireland, 8 goals. 7 so far this season for West Ham.
Oh, this is his second trip to West Ham. He played with West Ham before and was sold, bought back by them.
He seems to score goals though wherever he finishes up playing. He is a well-travelled player. Julian Dix, of course, left West Ham, had a spell at Liverpool. Never really settled in at Anfield. Plays it wide. Reaper. Nice touch there, letting West Ham down. Ginola. So much pace, so much skill, so much control. Gets past that challenge and then plays the ball across. David Ginola in irrepressible form today, Tommy.
Well, I reckoned last year after seeing him in the Champions League, Mike, that he had to be the greatest bargain that ever came to English football. I mean, he had such a great year for PSG.
Takes the corner, it comes off the head of Les Ferdinand.
And I think he is a double goal this year, Mike. I mean, he's out to prove the French manager wrong, and he's out to help Newcastle United win a championship. And certainly, I mean, he hasn't put a foot wrong. I know he's taken a few cards here and there along the way that might have been avoided, but his calibre of play has been just unbelievable.
Into the final 5 minutes of the first half. Newcastle leading by a goal to 0. Here's Batty. Asprilla. Dix got in first. Now the shot coming in. Shot there from John Beresford, who's the only outfield player for Newcastle, hasn't scored this season with the exception of David Batty, and this is only his second game since his move.
Well, he's come very close here. Let me tell you, this one just whistles by the far post. If you have a camera at the back, let's see how close it was. Believe me, it was very, very close. Another few coats of paint on that post. Look at it. Watch it just whistling. It's just turning away and then it dips at the last minute.
It's John Beresford. His career at Manchester City. 12 shots to 1 for Newcastle. Will they come again? Albert. He loves coming forward, Philip Albert.
Oh, Les Seeley seems to be saying, what did I do to you guys? I mean, don't you like me? Why didn't somebody close him down? Watch the way he's going to burst his way through. Looks like he handled the ball, and Reaper's complaining about the handball, so he's out of position just a little bit. Albert takes him on. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders, and the keeper has to get down low to save it.
This is Seeley there off his line, just narrowing the angle. Rowland. Reaper. Julian Dix. Dix there closed down quickly by Les Ferdinand. Albert, whose goal separates these two sides. The first half that Newcastle have dominated so much, you would have to say to him, if it was a boxing match, I think they'd be thinking of stopping it.
Oh, it'd definitely be a TKO, there's no question about that.
The shot coming in, Seeley keeps that out from Ginola. Now Beardsley. The best of clearances, Beresford trying to take it to the byline to cut it back, and the ball just running away from him in the end. David Ginola got an outstanding first half, as is that man, Les Seeley.
Oh, he made a few moves here. Watch Ginola, look at the shot. Here's the keeper getting down. He actually hits it with his knee. He's lucky he got away with one there.
Well, the ball there is just curling in the air, and I think Seeley went to try to catch it, and the ball just seemed to veer away.
Ginola does so many tricks with the ball.
Free kick to West Ham. Ironic cheers from the travelling West Ham supporters.
Yeah, they don't feel like they have gotten much here, and certainly the referee, as you said, he's come in for a lot of criticism, and some of his calls are very strange.
Village taking the free kick. This one comes in, and an easy take there for Pavel Cernacek, who really hasn't been called on to make a serious save in this first half.
Well, the one save he has, I think it was just he had to just step up and cut it off. It really wasn't even a shot on goal, it was a shot across the box.
Now Batty, Beardsley, Batty, Barton.
All the bees. Try that again.
Albert. And Beresford. Ginola. Beresford on the overlap, cuts in field. Newcastle at times just perhaps being a little bit over elaborate. And Ginola. Spread.
It's amazing he doesn't score more goals here, Mike, because when he was with PSG, he led them when they won the championship in 1993-94.
It was there from Michael Hughes. Spread, who again has shown us his full range of party tricks. Beardsley. Now playing stoppage time at the end of the first half. Now Batty. Played in and away that time. West Ham still under pressure. The ball's cut back to the far post, and nobody there for Newcastle. Grandstand finish now for Newcastle at the end of this first half. Beardsley. Now Batty plays that one in the header. And safely taken by Seeley, and again it was Albert.
Did you see what Seeley did, Mike? But before he came to the ball, he stepped across the line. Watch, let's see if we can get it from this angle. He's going to step back in instead of coming out. There he's coming out. You can see that he just dragged that foot out. He was way over the line at one point. I thought he had lost his sense of direction where he was.
Well, Philip Albert was successful once in the first half, but denied that time by Les Seeley. Robert Lee. David Batty's having a much bigger influence in this game than we saw against Manchester United, where it was his debut. He'd only signed a few days beforehand, but he really now looks very much a part of this Newcastle side, doesn't he?
Yeah, and you can see that the training together now they've worked out a good understanding with him, and he's playing very well.
Now Ferdinand, Aspria, lifting that one across. Ferdinand.
Oh, that That was cheeky.
It was cheeky, and Les Ferdinand knows that an elusive 26 goal that he needs to equal his best still eludes him.
Oh, this one comes so close. Look at that little chip just behind everybody. Ferdinand can't settle the ball down.
Well, there is the half-time whistle. Australia was the player who set that opportunity up, but the man who took the opportunity in the first half was Philippe Albert with his goal in the 21st minute. He started the move, and eventually he was able to slot it past Les Seeley. Stephen Lodge, the referee, will be a main discussion subject around St James's Park at half-time after the sending off of Steve Potts. Well, stay with us here on ESPN. Coming up at half-time, we'll have a look at Manchester United and their visit here. We'll also have first half highlights. Half-time, Newcastle United 1, West Ham United 0. First for Newcastle, and then tries to play it behind the defence. It was touched back. And let's see, he's taking his time.
Billick gets a nice touch on it, a very timely touch, because Asprilla is coming right in behind him.
All the way back, and an early touch for Pavel Cernacek.
One of the few he's had in this game.
I think they could actually charge him with a mission. Tommy, he's basically only been a spectator in the first half.
That's for sure. He's never been called into anything at all. I mean, West Ham haven't looked like they were capable of scoring, Mike, the way they played, even when they did have the 11 men.
Forward by Beardsley. Asprilla. So Asprilla. And the ball just going out of play. Asprilla and Village there. Interesting to hear what language they were talking, Tommy.
Yeah, I guess it's just the language of football. Give me that ball.
Seeley. His view at St James's Park, a ground that has been redeveloped. In the old days, it actually held some 70,000. Stays though its capacity about 37. Now Ginola.
Well, they could put 70,000 in it, Mike, if they had the seats, because, I mean, Toon's Army is so popular here, and there's one of the men who has made it all happen. Look at Ginola. He gets that little bit of space, and he gives it in. That's a difficult ball for a keeper on a night like tonight. Once it takes that little short hop in front of you, it can go anywhere.
Ian Bishop. This is Rowland. Putting that one through, and well read there by Warren Barton, but not the best of balls by Barton.
Oh, surely there must have been a foul there somewhere.
Well, to me, that was a bad tackle from behind. The referee had a perfect view and did nothing. Oh, hit on West Ham. Well there by Albert. Without the ball that time. Dowie. Over that one, hard and low. And Dimitrescu.
Well, if you watch this ball coming in, you realise how slippy it is. Look at how hard Dowie's trying to control his footing, and then he gets to it, he bangs it across. Dimitrescu almost wins the race. I think the defender gets it just the same time. Albert scored a goal and made a saving tackle there, Mike.
Dimitrescu to take the corner. Curls in, flicked on at the near post, and nobody at the back post for West Ham. Throw then for Newcastle United. Ian Dowie, another one of those honest professionals, worked so hard. As Newcastle swing forward, here's Les Ferdinand, and denied again by Seeley. Well, some of the West Ham players there stopped, looks across at the linesman, and then realised that the flag had not gone up, and Les Ferdinand, that was a glorious opportunity for him.
Oh, he walked in, and I thought there was a handball somewhere along the way too. I was looking for a flag as well, for maybe different reasons than the West Ham players, but Ferdinand should have put it away.
There's Michael Hughes. Throwing that one in, he easily cleared that time by Steve Howie. Hammers goes searching for an equaliser. And neatly back in the end by Beresford. Well, let's see the again coming up with a big save to keep West Ham very much in this game. Newcastle coming forward again in waves. Asprilla. Being pulled there by Slaven Bilic.
Not a good-natured exchange there with the hands anyhow. At least they didn't get involved in anything after the play.
Albert. Gets heat up that time by Les Ferdinand.
Well, Reaper's a very hard man to get by there, Mikey. He doesn't do anything spectacularly, but he stops an awful lot.
He's a good, solid defender, and Cernacek there, way out of his goal area.
Now, this is a better start by West Ham in the second half than they had in the first, even when they had the 11 players. Let's see what happens here. Well, surely there was an offside. Asprilla was offside in the middle, even if Ferdinand wasn't off.
Yes, I don't see how the officials can say that he wasn't interfering with play in that position. Surely it's got to affect the goalkeeper's sight.
Well, if he's running right at the keeper, he has to be affected by it, and there's another bad tackle, and the referee has let it go.
You see, as we saw him earlier at when West Ham played Manchester United, it seemed that everything that Manchester United did that night got penalised, and they had Nicky Butt sent off, and West Ham couldn't do anything wrong. Tonight it seems the other way around. Now here's Asprilla. Beardsley keeps it in play for Newcastle. Asprilla again. Batty away by Julian Dix. Asprilla. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do, but it's worked out to perfection. Beardsley. Now Batty. Beardsley to the far post. Nobody there. And Michael Hughes. Albert.
Well, that was a real mismatch in terms of size, and Albert just stood his ground, and Michael Hughes just bounced off him.
Ginola. It's there by Hughes and by Rowland. Got past them both, but not really the quality of cross that he was looking for.
Now, he doesn't get it near high enough. I mean, he has two defenders on the front post. He's aiming for somebody on the back post.
Batty. So they've been very impressed with David Batty's performance tonight, Tommy, for Newcastle United. He's really given them a steal in midfield. He's worked well. He covers space well.
Yeah, it's definitely a new dimension from the last time we saw him playing, and I mean, he's really fitting well in with this team now.
Ginola with the cross and the clearance. Now Beardsley. It's all one-way traffic. Beardsley gets past one, still keeps possession. Beresford plays it wide. Ginola teasing the fullback. Simon Harden low, looking for Les Ferdinand at the near post.
This man has been the tormentor. I mean, he's really providing the opportunities inside.
Here comes Beresford. Good challenge from Ian Dowie, who had come back in that position it had to be. It's Bishop. Side for Rowland. Asprilla was the player who brought Rowland down. Asprilla is adapting to English football and English conditions very, very well. He's not afraid to do the hard work either, Tommy, is he? To chase back.
Oh no, he's a good grafter. I mean, he's always out. He's always looking for the ball, Mike. It doesn't matter where the ball is, and he always wants it, which is so important. I mean, and it doesn't matter what kind of a situation's in. He still wants the ball.
Dowie. Dimitrescu. By Albert.
Oh, just weight of numbers there really did it for Newcastle. I mean, they had 5 men back on that line.
Batty again. Time telegraphed the move. It was easily intercepted. Now Bishop plays it forward. Dimitrescu. It's a little nudge there from Warren Barton. That was enough. Ferdinand still trying to get off that 25 goal mark that scores since the beginning of February. There's so many opportunities tonight. It's not unusual for goal scorers to go through those sort of patches. This time the ball is heading clear. It was aimed for Ferdinand by Ginola.
And certainly in terms of when you have a goal that means something, Mike, they're always much harder to get. And I mean, Ferdinand knows exactly what his tally was last year. Every goal scorer does. They know exactly. They can always tell you every game and what minutes is scored in. So he just wants to get off that. He wants to tie it. And you press just a little bit too hard.
Reaper leaving it there for Roland. Looking for Dowie. Seems to be caught from behind there by Steve Howie. Howie's off second best. Still play continues. Asprilla is a judge for being onside, chipping the goalkeeper, and that's goal number 2. But I like to look at the replay, and that's, I mean, he seemed clearly offside. Asprilla, though, will accept his second goal in a Newcastle shirt, and Newcastle will accept the second goal of the evening.
Oh, and he takes it so coolly. I mean, he just waits. Let's see, is he offside? Here's the play. Well, he's close. He's close. May have just made it, but look at, he just chips the keeper, gives the keeper no chance at all. Let's get another view of it. Now, I'd say it's marginal. I'd say he's level with the player. And of course, that's what they're saying now. If you're level, you're not offside. He makes a nice run. You see him coming in, and that's a clinical finish. He just puts the boot underneath it and lofts it over the keeper. I mean, the presence of mind that he just has, he makes it look so easy.
As he waited for Lesili to commit himself and then lifted it over him. Newcastle United 2, West Ham United 0. West Ham down to 10 men are really now under the hammer. Steve Howie is going off to continue getting attention. And Steve Watson is coming on for Newcastle, and Warren Barton is the player that's gone off. So Watson, who was just recovering from a cracked bone in his little toe, he comes on. England under-21 international.
While Newcastle are solidly in the driver's seat. I mean, in the first half they played so well, they didn't score, came out here, and within 12 minutes of the second half they do find the net. So it's going to be a long way back for West Ham now, Mike.
His first goal at St James's Park, second for Newcastle. West Ham now really going to have to commit players forward, and that could be really dangerous against Ginola, Asprilla and Ferdinand.
Surely that was the case of the Newcastle player leaning in on the West Ham player, the ref gave it the opposite way.
Yes, that's what Slavan Bilic was saying. We've heard, in fact, that Warren Barton has gone off because he's got a slight groin strain. And with so many important matches coming up for Newcastle, Kevin Keegan not wanting to take any chances. Here's Ginola. Came off the defender, and Lesili there asking his defenders what is going on. Ginola there just walked straight through.
Draper was the man who eventually blocked it down, and even he's limping, Mike. He doesn't look like he's at all comfortable out there. Ian Dowie's coming back now to try to help out a bit at the back.
Over with the corner, headed away there by Michael Hughes. And that time, Tom Beresford is penalised. Climbing over the player.
Oh, let's see, does he climb over? And you're going to see, oh, this is the goal. Asprilla just takes it in on the box. He's about 10 yards outside of it. Look at, he doesn't panic, takes it nice and easy, has a look. Now he just chips it, almost like a shot in golf. He put the boot underneath it, just put it high enough over the keeper. And then that's a mighty impressive looking flip he has.
Certainly colourful celebrations from the colourful Colombian. Batty. Asprilla. And that one through. There's some beautiful byplay there from Newcastle. Batty tried to drive it across. Julian Dick just trying to marshal the troops now at the back for West Ham United. West Ham knowing that if they had won here, they would finish up into ninth spot. I mean, they can still come back as we come up towards the hour mark for They trail here by 2 goals to 0, down to 10 men. The tall order. Newcastle at the moment are playing with just so much confidence. A spree up inside the fullback. Another corner. Bilic was the player who came sliding across. Corner's taken quickly. West Ham at the moment disorganised. It's Premiership trying the shot. And it came off. Mark Reaper for another corner.
Oh, this man has played his heart out inside Julian Dix, wearing the captain's armband. He's trying to lead by example.
Ginola. Way into a very dangerous position, although Ginola there completely miskicked.
Well, those tackles are a little high.
The Dix. Still have on the bench tonight. Danny, the 19-year-old sensation from Portugal.
Not sure you'll see him, Mike. I think they need a little bit of they're more interested now in preserving their tail than trying to score. I mean, they're so open at the back now, it's incredible.
Dix rather wasted in the end, but not too many players to aim at in any case. Now Beardsley, Ferdinand, Beardsley trying to play it first time. Batty driving force now for Newcastle in midfield. Here's an opportunity. Cernicek there way outside his penalty area. And now the chip as the goalkeeper rushes back.
Well, when it goes right for you, it really goes right for you. Most keepers would be caught out there. He comes out way outside of his box and then he knocks the ball away. Michael Hughes had a look at it, tries to chip him, and the keeper gets back in good shape to cover it. There he's coming out, and now he realises, oh, I'm in trouble. Michael Hughes, the defender, Albert just steps in front of him first, and that's what caused the problem.
So Steve Howe was there behind him to back up the situation.
That would have been a very interesting goal.
Could have really set this game alight. One-way traffic. Espria. That time by Watson. Beardsley. Player 1-2 there, but Peter Beardsley not quite that fast.
Well, he might have been one day, but he's certainly not now, Michael.
Under pressure. Now Dix. Dowie. Just running loose again. Beardsley. Now Ferdinand. And Seeley denies him.
Oh, Ferdinand's trying to push it in on the back post. Seeley cuts it out nicely.
Another good save from Les Seeley. Who was born in the East End, far from Upton Park. Ironically, he'll most probably finish his career at Upton Park, well, I would think so, at 38 years old now. And another player there from London, Les Ferdinand. Les Ferdinand comes from Hayes in London, which also produced another very good goal scoring Cyril Regis. As this one is slid through, and the offside flag goes up, and Les Ferdinand there is denied. Looks across at the linesman.
He's saying, please take that flag down. I finally got the goal I wanted. Don't deny me. Is he offside? Oh, that's very, very close. He's offside all right when the ball gets to him, but when the ball is hit, the initial contact made from the passer, I don't think he's offside.
Very, very close indeed. That's no denied. Yeah, he really was a bit of a late developer. Good spell with Queen's Park Rangers. Never really settled, and then went on loan to Brentford before going to Turkey. Had a loan spell there with Besiktas. on the circuit, and then came back, really found his touch. As Asprilla goes looking for his second goal. Julian Dix.
He's not too happy with the keeper, he's not too happy with a couple of defenders.
And Seeley is going to face this corner now from David Ginola. This one deeper, the header coming in. Asprilla and Les Ferdinand gets goal number 3 for Newcastle, set up by Asprilla, and there was nothing that Les Seeley could do about that.
No, he just hammers it in. Ginola with the original cross coming from the corner. Here it's banked across. There's a touch in the middle. Here's Asprilla on the far post. He flicks it into the middle, and oh, that's a rocket. Look at how well Ferdinand gets a grip of it. Nicely, softly played to him, and he just bangs it home. I mean, that's a rifle of a shot. Look at the way the Colombian international feeds it to him, and Ferdinand does the same. He almost drills a hole in the back of the net.
Goal number 26 of the season for Les Ferdinand equals his record of last season with Queen's Park Rangers. Newcastle United 3, West Ham United 0, and you just get the feeling, Tommy, that Newcastle could now really run up a few more goals.
Oh yeah, they're playing with so much confidence. I mean, and there's just, they look so lethal up front. I mean, you take that man we're looking at now, Ferdinand, and you have Ginola on one side and Asprilla on the other side. And I mean, you just ask, how do you stop these guys? And you have Albert coming from the back, if that's not enough of problems.
West Ham looking very, very dispirited. Batty. Ginola. Playing this one in, and just a bit too close that time to Seeley. Ferdinand again very much alert to the situation.
Oh, Ferdinand would like to get one extra now that he's tied his output for last year. He'd like to get on to a new record for him.
Liverpool, the leading goal scorers in the English Premier League with 60 goals so far this season. Then Manchester United with 57. But Newcastle, with these 3 here tonight so far, have brought their total up to 55. And they also have the best defensive record in the Premier League along with Liverpool. They've only conceded 26 goals. Certainly if they can hold on to this lead, they will be the Premier League leaders again tonight. Here's Beardsley. Coming in there from Ian Dowie. Now Julian Dix. Beardsley from behind. Made contact with the ball, says the referee. Asprilla. A lot of space, trying to lift that one across. Really is congested in that penalty area, and West Ham just pulling bodies back at the moment.
Asprilla has such a little touch on the bike, and he doesn't move his foot at all, and the ball just takes off whatever way he can chip it.
Hughes. A wasted ball. I think Harry Redknapp at the moment, if he could make 10 substitutions, I think he would.
Yeah, it's not been a game that's gone West Ham's way at all. I mean, Newcastle came out and they hammered them, and realistically, I mean, Newcastle could have been 6 in front here at this stage, Mike.
Steve Watson. It's a substitute to replace Warren Barton. Plays that one across to Ferdinand. The flag has stayed down.
And I'm not sure, I was watching the West Ham player there, Mike, and the player is in front of him, and he's still appealing for the offside. I mean, you've got to realise the player's in front of you cannot be offside.
Asprilla trying the shot. Bounced awkwardly, but Seeley did well to get his body behind the ball.
Oh, Seeley really, he's been left unprotected. I mean, you couldn't blame Seeley for any of the goals. Look at this. Look at all the time he has. He just sets his sights on the goal and drops it in, hoping that that little bounce is going to deceive the keeper. But Seeley comes across and covers it very well. Looked for a minute there like the keeper was going to reach down and pick it up, didn't it?
So check.
Altoon's army of Sylvie on the march tonight, that's for sure.
Well, the next couple of weeks are going to be vital for Newcastle United. Trip to Highbury at the weekend to take on Arsenal, and then a trip to Anfield to play Liverpool. This one comes across to the far post. It's a bit too high.
The Gunners are flying at this time. They're in pretty good form right now.
It's Arsenal in 5th. Of course, no longer in any cup competition, so they're looking to finish high enough to qualify for a UEFA Cup spot next season.
Aston Villa look like they may have just gone off the boil just a little bit. They have other things on their mind, of course.
Yes, a League Cup final appearance against Leeds, and then, of course, in the semi-final of the FA Cup as well.
There was no offside on that play.
There used to be a time when British referees were so much respected around the world and held in such high regard, but one of the things that we're noticing this season is that quality doesn't seem to be around. Certainly we haven't seen it this afternoon with the linesmen or the referees in this game. Here comes Beardsley. Asprilla. Still the ball comes loose, and Seeley again has to go down, this time to deny Robert Lee.
Well, everybody's getting in the act here. Here's what Seeley's going to see. Look at Robert Lee outside, fires it in low. Seeley covers it up.
So Robert Lee looking to add to his 8 goals so far this season. If you're just joining us here on ESPN, this is the English Premier League coming to you from St James's Park in Newcastle. Newcastle leading 3-0. Albert scoring in the 21st minute. Asprilla in the 56th. Les Ferdinand with goal number 26 of the season in the 65th. It's Newcastle United 3, West Ham United 0. West Ham down to 10 men after Steve Potts was sent off in the 33rd minute. Match there between Julian Dix and Asprilla.
Oh, Asprilla checking to make sure all his teeth are still there. One of the toughest men in English football. Julian Dix took exception to him, and he used the elbow. He's gone across to talk to the linesman. Let's see what happens. Here you're going to see Dix is just going to catch him right across the chin. Well, he's going to say he didn't mean it, and the referee agrees.
Free kick's been taken. Here's Beardsley. Straight wide, Albert started the scoring for Newcastle. Forward by Beresford.
It was a situation like that that caused all the problems the last day when we saw Newcastle United. It was Asprilla who was involved in it. He was the man who lashed out with the elbow. This time he's the recipient.
I'm sure with this game being televised around the world, we haven't heard the last of that incident. Julian Dix seems to be picked on all the time by officialdom. As Peter Beardsley tries a shot, there's Seeley kicks it out. Now Asprilla. Time to measure the cross and then tries to beat Seeley at the near post.
No respect for the old man at all, Mike. He thought he was going to catch him out. He had a player coming down through the middle. Seeley's going to try to cover him. There's the initial save. When you see Seeley get up now, the Newcastle player's going to come into the picture at this stage. Look at that. And then he goes for the short side. Seeley said, no, you're not going to do that on me. I'm too old-fashioned for that.
Therefore, Cernacek. Attacking moves from Newcastle have been absolutely relentless. Here comes Ferdinand playing that one through. Asprilla running to an offside position.
Well, that time it was a good call.
I suppose in the law of averages, Tony, they've got to get the one right occasionally. Back to Seeley.
Oh, the crowd are saying he was backing into him. The referee says he was pushing, so...
Kevin Keegan just trying to stay warm here at St James's Park tonight. It's about 1 degree when we kicked off. I think it's got colder. Oh, that time is penalised.
Well, certainly for Newcastle inside, it's very warm, Mike. They're very happy with their 3 goals.
Free kick then to West Ham. And Dowie just cushion ahead of that time. Downey's starting to warm up now for West Ham. It's turning out to be quite a struggle down there between Asprilla and Dix.
Oh yeah, if you're Kevin Keegan, you got to be just a little bit concerned, because I mean they're 2 fairly volatile men. I mean it wouldn't take a whole lot to ignite it now.
They both have a very short fuse. Reaper plays that one through. Ian Bishop. This directed pass from Bishop. We go into the final quarter of an hour. Newcastle again surging forward. Ginola. A great game he's had tonight. He plays it towards the far post. And it's cleared there by Slaven Bilic.
Oh, Bilic has done a sight of hard work back there for West Ham tonight, covering back, trying to push up the field, and he's telling Ginola, I saw you coming, no way I was going to get in there. Isn't that a nice exchange?
Now Batty. Watson. Peter Beardsley. That was cheeky as he tried to play it through the legs. Another opportunity. Asprilla dragging the ball back, inviting the challenge. All the faithful here at St James's Park enjoyed that.
Mind you, he didn't pick on Julian Dix.
Ginola playing that one in, and Steve Howie. And he's a central defender. He wants to get out on the act. West Ham are going to make a double substitution.
Dimitrescu is coming off anyhow.
Nastani's coming on. Dimitrescu is the player who goes off. I think the other one going off is going to be Ian Bishop. So Downey comes on. And it is Ian Bishop who's the other player who's going off. And it's Tim Breaker.
Wearing number 2, he's the man coming out of the back in place of Bishop. Danny will take up Dimitrescu's spot, I'd say.
Well, Tim Breaker played last week against Middlesbrough. It was his first game since December. He's coming back from injury. When he comes on, he's a defender. They need to add some colour and some style up front. West Ham keep rolling, trying to get that one across. It's charged down there by Watson.
Well, Danny, of course, on loan here from Sporting Lisbon, and he's really created quite an impression on the field and off the field. He's become the local heartthrob, Mike. He's the new star around West Ham way.
That's well, I think Harry Redknapp summed it up. None of the players now bother to bring their wives or girlfriends to trainings and he joined the club because he's so good looking. They all get very jealous.
Mind you can play a bit on the field too.
Of course, came to everybody's attention with his display at Wembley last December, playing for Portugal against England. Recommended to Harry Redknapp by Bobby Robson, the manager of Porto, who are running away with the competition in Portugal at the moment. Now Ginola playing that one in. 2 players there from Newcastle going for the same ball. Slaven Bilic has been a real tower of strength at the back for West Ham.
Oh, this man has been a tower of strength too, wearing number 30. He doesn't even, it's a high number on and it still doesn't match his years.
Attendance today, 36,536. Attendance for Newcastle United. They've waited 69 years for a league title. Became better known during the 50s as a team with a cup tradition. Winning the FA Cup 6 times, runners up 5 times. But they haven't won the FA Cup since 1955. They won't win that this year. But they may win this title. The last time they won that was 1926-27 season, when it was still called the English First Division.
Well, Kevin Keegan certainly will feel the pressure off him a little bit after this one.
Trying this one to the far post. Didn't quite fall for Ferdinand. He was looking there to tee that one up and strike it first time. Ashpriya. Albert. Ginola. Easy Tim Breaker. Ashpriya. Goes for the return and just overhit slightly by Les Ferdinand. It's pushed Ashpriya wide. Trying to play that one through. And now Dowie. And Steve Howie gets there first. He still manages to keep the ball in play.
Well, Big Ian hasn't managed to get himself involved in the game at all today, Mike. I mean, the conditions are just not to his liking. You can see he's having terrible problems trying to retain his footing on the field.
The other thing, of course, is that West Ham have been put under so much pressure. He's really got no service anyway.
Oh yeah, the ball hasn't been coming to him. Anything he's got, he has had to go back and fight for it himself. And he's really been like the Lone Ranger up front. Here's another call on the offside. This one is a good call. He's offside when the ball is struck.
Robert Lee. Who doesn't agree with that one? Who scored his first goal here at St James's Park, second tonight for Newcastle.
Well, the faithful here will be hoping it's going to be the first of many.
First real shot that Srnicek has really had to deal with in the second half.
Probably the whole game. Well, except for that one where he had to go, he scrambled back a little bit to get it.
Albert, he started to move, and I thought he was going to go all the way again. Seems to be his trademark these days. Now Ginola. His shot is blocked. Corner then for Newcastle United.
Well, Ginola really has been a thorn in the side of West Ham.
Village. It's up limping. Corner's been taken. Shot goes just wide. And David Batty.
You could almost read his lips. He said, I thought I had it in.
He joined Leeds United 2 seasons ago. He left Leeds United some 2 seasons ago and never scored a goal for Blackburn. Slaven Village is the player down now for West Ham.
It looks like he's having a problem with that left leg.
Remember, of course, they use their substitutes. Yes, of course, they could bring in Peter Shilton on, play as an outfield player, or just bring him on, put him in goal, and let Les Seeley play as an outfield player. But I think Slaven Village is going to be okay. Beardsley. Down to 9 men as Dowie is caught. That was a bad challenge, and the referee has just let the play carry on. This is the thing that annoys players and fans alike. It's just the inconsistency, Tommy.
Yeah, that's all you ask. I mean, you don't expect a referee to be perfect. He's going to make mistakes during the game, but you want him to be consistent.
A very bad challenge.
I mean, if you go back to the challenge where the yellow card, the second yellow card came in the first half, I mean, that's as bad a challenge there, and there was no card on it.
Shilton standing there, just wondering if Harry Redknapp has told him to go and warm up. You're going to go on and let's see who's going to play in the attack. Australia there. It's a little bit over elaborate. Now Ginola. That one in, looking for Les Ferdinand, and it just squeezed off the side of his boot. Didn't quite fall for Ferdinand, who had taken up a good position. That's a side clearance from West Ham. I would think they'll be looking for the final whistle. Kevin Keegan must be enjoying this, talking there with his His assistant Terry McDermott.
I wonder if he had his sugar puffs this morning.
Ginola with the cross, hooks away there by Dix as Ferdinand just trying to nod it back across the face of goal.
Sure, a lot of you wonder what that comment means. Of course, that he's involved in a sugar puff controversy. The people in Sunderland won't eat the sugar puffs. The sale has gone down now because Kevin Keegan has become a spokesman for it. He's taken a lot of ribbons throughout Europe over it, Mike.
Yes, it certainly has. For Sunderland and Newcastle, tremendous rivals over the years as Peter Beardsley is stopped looking appealingly there at the referee for a penalty. And of course Sunderland could certainly be playing Newcastle next year. They currently lead the promotion chase in Division 1, where 3 teams will come up. The top 2 in Division 1 get automatic promotion. The next 4 play off for the final promotion spot.
Can you imagine if the Premiership and the First Division goes to 2 teams from this particular area? That would be some boost for football.
It certainly would, but of course great traditions in this part of England. Some great players over the years. Haven't had too much to cheer about in recent years here on Tyneside. That could be about to change. The header comes in from Les Ferdinand. Not too far off the target.
Now, and he gets good power behind it. You're going to see he's going to swing his body around on it. It's a powerful looking header. I don't think that Seeley would have been able to get across to it. He looked like he had it comfortably covered, but I have my doubts.
Challenge that time. Stops the attack now. Beresford plays it wide.
Ball was out.
Supporters on that far side, don't think so. David Ginola, who's been a thorn in the side of West Ham United from the opening whistle. Julian Dix. With plenty of players back. This is Danny. He was immediately surrounded by 3 players. Now Newcastle breaking forward. Beardsley. Now Ferdinand. And Ferdinand there just trying to cut it back. It's Aspria who was completely unmarked in front of the goal.
Well, he stops for some reason. I think he figures he's going to run offside, and then when he gets a head of steam up again, pushes it wide. The defender gets a touch on it coming across, and he just can't square it. Look at Aspria. All he had to do was blow on it if it came across to him.
Well, Ferdinand and Aspria have got their names on the score sheet. And Newcastle now heading back to the top of the Premier League with a 3-point lead over Manchester United, plus they've got a game in hand. But along with this game, the next 2 could be absolutely crucial for Newcastle, because they have to travel firstly to Highbury to take on Arsenal this weekend, and then to Anfield to take on Liverpool.
Well, I mean, they're fairly one at the driver's seat now, but you'd have to imagine if they win those 2 games, Mike, that they will win it all.
Aspria, nice touch on. Here comes Beardsley. He's very, very close in there. Newcastle again just trying the one-touch play now. Albert surging forward. Opened up the scoring with a similar type of run. Ginola. Now the shot. And this time from Lee Clark, or Robert Lee in fact, goes just too high.
Constant pressure on this man. He's really had a very busy afternoon, and there's no end to it. Even with less than a minute left in the game, you can see all the movement of the ball. Newcastle not afraid to move it, and you can see him coming from the back and just decides, hey, everybody else is having a go, why not me?
So Robert Lee, the England midfielder. final 60 seconds. Plus any time that referee Stephen Lodge will add on for stoppages. In the mini slump that has seen Newcastle take only 1 point out of a last possible 9 seems to be over. As they head towards victory here against West Ham. Their bad spell started against West Ham when they lost 2-0 at Upton Park, a 3-3 draw against Manchester City at Main Road, and then a 1-0 defeat here against Manchester United.
Watch this. 1, 2, 3. And he still finds his man inside. And then Ferdinand decides, well, I can do that too.
Yes, and it fell in the end to Beresford, the only player, with the exception of new signing David Batt, who hasn't scored this season. Including, of course, the goalkeeper, Pavel Stanisic. Into stoppage time now. This is Batty. Asprilla. Plenty of power behind the shot, but denied there by Les Sealey.
Well, I'm not sure Les knew too much about that one, Mike. I think he got his elbow in the way of it. The ball started to curl away from him.
Asprilla takes the short corner. Gets it back from Watson. Plays that one in. Asprilla again. Onside. Onside. Disjointed looking West Ham side at the moment as this one is headed on. So close there to an own goal. And Sealey. Well, it would have been a very embarrassing moment for Tim Breaker.
Let's watch it as it comes across. You see the boot getting to the ball. Look at that. He just pushes it up. Keeper makes a brilliant save, pushing it off the crossbar.
Newcastle looking for goal number 4. Batty playing that one through. Lee playing that one in. Laid back, nobody there for Newcastle. Referee checks his watch, away there by Ian Dowie, operating now in his own penalty area. This is Danny. Nice control from the 19-year-old. Place a run at players. Really with no support that time. It's been an emphatic performance from Newcastle United. Down. Asprilla comes away with the ball, plays this one through. Here's Les Ferdinand. Still Ferdinand, denied again by the legs of Sealey.
Sealey certainly has earned his paycheck tonight, Mike. He's played extremely well. Ferdinand's going to cut inside of the box. Watch the boot. Here it is. Another of those kick saves. It's all over.
There's the final whistle. And Les Ferdinand gets his name on the score sheet. Kevin Keegan knows there are 3 more points that will now see his side back on top of the table. Goals from Albert, Asprilla and Ferdinand. Asprilla getting his second goal since his arrival from Parma. Well, stay with us here on ESPN. Coming up after this break, we'll have our post-match wrap. As Ferdinand had scored his 26th goal of the season. As the James's Park in Newcastle, it finished Newcastle United 3, West Ham United 0.